Project Helios, the CIA's forgotten sun gun. In the tense years following the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik in 1957, the United States faced a terrifying realization. It was no longer untouchable. The small metallic sphere that beeped over American skies didn't just mark the beginning of the space age, it ignited a war of imagination. If the Soviets could launch satellites into orbit, what else could they put up there? Weapons? Cameras? Something worse? Amid this panic, a handful of American defense scientists revisited an idea first sketched by Nazi engineers during World War II. A concept that sounded more like science fiction than strategy. A sun gun. The premise was deceptively simple. Launch a massive orbiting mirror that could reflect sunlight back toward Earth as a concentrated beam. Unlike the death rays of pulp novels, this beam wouldn't incinerate targets. Instead, it would temporarily blind enemy pilots, disable radar installations, and confuse surveillance aircraft. In the age before precision-guided weapons, seconds of blindness could mean the difference between victory and annihilation. Inside the CIA's Directorate of Science and Technology, the concept was given a code name, Project Helios. The agency's physicists and engineers quietly began running simulations, feeding crude orbital mechanics into early computers the size of rooms. Theoretically, it worked. A reflective surface several hundred meters wide, placed in low orbit, could redirect enough sunlight to overwhelm optical sensors or even scorch thin materials at specific angles. By 1961, the project had moved from theory to experiment. The CIA funded small-scale mirror prototypes through defense contractors under vague aerospace optical studies. Some scientists proposed using mylar-coated aluminum sheets that could unfold in orbit like metallic petals. Others envisioned a rigid parabolic mirror mounted on a stabilized platform. But each test revealed the same flaw. The sun itself was too powerful to control. When early reflective films were exposed to direct sunlight, they warped, bubbled, or tore apart under extreme heat. In one test at a Nevada desert facility, a prototype reflector disintegrated within minutes, scattering molten fragments across the sand. Still, Helios refused to die quietly. One engineer suggested using the mirror only for short bursts, solar flashes, lasting seconds, enough to blind enemy optics without melting the structure. The CIA loved the idea but couldn't find the funding. The space race had shifted toward rockets, not mirrors. By 1962, Project Helios was quietly shelved. Its final report was sealed under experimental optical countermeasures. Most of its scientists were reassigned to early satellite imaging programs that would become the Corona Reconnaissance Network. Decades later, fragments of Helios appeared in Freedom of Information Act releases, pages half redacted, stamped with faint D/S and T notations. One surviving paragraph simply read, "Thermal instability renders orbital reflection systems unsuitable for long-duration tactical deployment." Today, few remember that for a brief, fevered moment, the CIA dreamed of turning the sun itself into a weapon. A mirror in orbit, a beam of light, and a glimpse into how close humanity came to fighting a war with the very star that gives it life.